So I've noticed that everybody loves to watch the games from this book. This book is something in the middle between an opening repertoire and a kind of explanation of the King's Indian. Why? Because there are all the games played by Tigran Petrosian in black and white, so against the King's Indian and pro King's Indian. The game I want to show you today is between Petrosian and Zaitsev. Um, Zaitsev is famous because he was a famous theoretician and he was a trainer for very important players like Karpov. This game was played in 1966. Petrosian was white, Zaitsev was black. Here it says, objectivity is one of the most valuable and essential qualities for chess. Excessive enthusiasm for one's own plans leads to underestimating the opponent's plans. Zaitsev forgot about this fact and consequentially suffered defeat. This is honestly a thing which happens, I think, to everybody, also to me. Sometimes you're playing blitz and you don't ask yourself why the opponent made that move, and when you don't ask yourself that, oh, it's terrible. In any case, so let's start. c4. Petrosian, remember, is white. Knight f6, knight c3, g6. Now it's saying there is an interesting move, e4. Why do I say that it's interesting? Because, guys, if he plays c5, in my opinion, this is a Sicilian Marozzi bind. We are not in a King's Indian, right? Instead, after e4, he played d6. And then white plays d4. At this point, I don't think you can really enter with c5 in the Sicilian Marozzi bind, because after d takes c5, d takes c5, queen takes d8, clearly you have a problem, right? So d4 is that, bishop g7, bishop e2, and castle. So here we are speaking about the classical variation of the King's Indian, right? Knight f3, e5, and there is d5, knight h5. Knight h5 is interesting because it's signaling to white that he will play this move, right? So that's why you take it out. g3, f5. And here there is a diagram. I always tell you when there is a diagram, why? Because generally, when they put a diagram, they want to tell you something. And you should think about, if you were white, what would you play? In this case, white played e takes f5. And here there is a big note, a bigger comment, because black played queen f6. But it says, of course, neither g takes f5 because of knight takes c5. Oh, okay, got it. Now we know why. Okay. And also bishop takes f5 doesn't work because of knight g5 is good enough for black. Here it says that Zaitsev planned to sharpen the position with the following variation. Let's see, what is the following variation? So, let's see. It shows a variation with 10 f takes g6, but it's not clear what's going on, if he's which move is actually playing. So it seems he's giving a move to white. Obviously you cannot take because there is a discovery check. So it was after f6, queen f6. Okay, so now I understand what he meant, because sorry, it wasn't clear in this case. So he said after this queen f6, he says Zaitsev planned to sharpen the position, hoping for roughly the following variation. But then why didn't play it? Because he played knight g5 in the game. White played knight g5, he didn't play f takes g6. So maybe this is what Zaitsev studied at home, this move. But he didn't study knight g5. Okay, let's see what happens. Bishop g4, track, okay. And, okay, sorry, king h8, knight e4, attacking this. Oh, oh. Wow, this is interesting. Watch this. Boom. 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 And now, after this, now. Okay, so we have 9, 10, 11, and here we have 5, 8, 11. And of course, this is not a line that white must play, but in that time, we are speaking 1966, it's possible that this is what Zaitsev thought white would play. Here it says, I must say that Grandmaster Igor Zaitsev, the author of many original opening innovations, more than once refuted generally accepted evaluations, introducing interesting ideas in refuted variation. But in this game he clearly went too far. White did not even have to invent anything. He gained an overwhelming advantage by playing simple, natural moves. Okay, so guys, if you don't mind, I want to return back from the beginning, also if there is a diagram, because my point is to try to remember the King's Indian, because maybe one day I want to play it. So when I want to play an opening, I try to do this kind of manual work, which is to see a game every time I see a variation, I return to the beginning. And what else do? I try to remember the moves, okay? So I remember that he started with c4, knight f6, maybe knight c3, yes, g6, e4, I remember it because I told you guys that here could play probably for the Marozzi bind in the Sicilian. Instead he played this, d4, bishop g7, bishop e2, castle, knight f3, e5, because you see, the thing is, guys, if you don't remember the move, how will you play them in tournament when you are under pressure? d5, knight h5, g3, f5. Okay, and this is where there was the diagram, because Petrosian played e takes f5 and black played this queen f6. Okay. So after this, he plays knight g5, queen takes f5, castle, knight f6, and bishop d3. Here it says the queen, which prematurely joined the midst of a struggle, begins to wander around the board, coming under attack from the white pieces and pawns over and over again. And this is something we know is not a good idea, right? Queen g4, probably trying to exchange. Bishop e2, queen f5, f3. And now he will be able to play bishop d3, right? Bishop h6 attacking this, but unfortunately white is gonna play bishop d3. Yes. Queen d7. And look how beautiful is this outpost. Boom. Knight e6. Why it's beautiful? He's attacking here. He controls this, he's attacking this, he's attacking everything, right? Bishop takes e1, and queen takes c1. And now, obviously, black takes away the rook from f8, which was attacked, right? Here it says white has a huge advantage in development and starts a decisive attack with the next active move. So let's see if it's true, this thing of a huge advantage in development. Well, we have one rook that is out of a game, a knight that is out of a game, and this bishop that we don't know when it will go out, right? So 5, 8, 11. Yes, he has in this moment an advantage of 11 points. Now, this is a temporary advantage, not something that lasts forever, right? So you need to capitalize. At this point, guys, try to pause the video and find out what do you think you would play if you were white, okay? What would you play if you were white? In general, when you have a big advantage, you want to open the lines, right? So this is what he did. He played f4, e takes f4, queen takes f4. And here there is another diagram. Okay, the next move, it's a little strange, is knight takes d5, and this is why we buy a book like this, because the author remind us of what Savielli Tartakover said about this kind of moves. He said the suicide of a terminally ill patient. Tartakover is famous for his sarcasm and humor. Okay, queen takes f7, queen takes f7, rook takes f7, bishop takes e6, and now there is a great move by white. Once more, guys, pause the video, and try to find out what you would play in this situation. The move is knight takes d5. Why? Because if he takes this, and this is gone, right? So white has still a rook advantage. If he takes with this same thing, he takes here and he's gonna take there, right? So what did black do? Black played bishop takes d5. And at this point, white still has this under attack, so he must move it, and he played rook takes e7. After which there was knight a6 and rook d7. This is move 24. At this point, black resigned. Why did black resign? Well, the idea is that if he also tries to save this, he loses this pawn, right? And we are between obviously top level grandmaster. 1966 Petrosian was still world champion, and he was expected to know how to convert this position into a win. So I thank you very much for watching the video, and I hope you will get this book or eventually continue to follow my channel, because from time to time, when I have time, I will show you one of the game from the book that I really think it's a beautiful book. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.